I'm Tucker Roberts, and today I will be giving you a speech over the dangers of uneducated voting. Here is my audience. Thomas Jefferson once said, "An informed electorate is our best defense against tyranny." Many of you are sitting there in agreement with Thomas Jefferson's statement. Yet how many of you actually have enough knowledge about politics, history, and economics to make an informed decision between multiple political candidates? Many in our country are not. When asked why we vote the way we do, our generation answers, "He seems like the best for the job," or "She'll bring a new vision for our country." Yet, hardly anyone can tell you their favorite policy of their candidate. Most of us will be voting in this next 2016 election. We'll be deciding who will be our next president. And hardly any of us are aware of the political and economic issues our country is facing at the moment. And that's not a good thing. Uneducated voting is a problem in our country, and it's something that's not talked about near as much as it should be. Therefore, I will be discussing the dangers of uneducated voting. Why do we vote? Is it a tradition, a chore we do in vain, or is it something more than that? Voting is how we voice our opinions in the government. It's how our forefathers ensured that our country would not fall under tyrannical rule. However, as those patriots slowly died away and new citizens were born into a democracy handed down to them, the power of the vote began to fade. People began to be busy with their lives and stopped worrying about preparing for election day. Thus, the age of the ignorant voter had begun. Many of you believe you have a great deal of civic knowledge, but how much do you actually know? My mother is a Brownwood ISD employee and has a master's degree and has had a very successful professional career. I asked her a few questions to gauge her civic knowledge. Here are her responses. Who currently controls the Senate?
Republican.
The Democrats. The Congress?
Republican.
Yes. Can you name the two senators from your state?
Ted Cruz and I don't know.
John Cornyn. Who is the current Secretary of State? John Kerry.
I don't know.
What is the name of the group currently invading Iraq?
I can't remember.
ISIS. As you can see, even the highly educated can be completely uninformed when it comes to American politics. It's not about how much you know, it's about how much you care. Current events are constantly changing, so the moment you stop researching them is the moment you fall behind. However, my mom was not the only one whose civic knowledge was lacking. These statistics should scare you. Only 2 out of 5 Americans can name all 3 branches of American government. Only 1 out of 7 can find Iraq on a map. Most do not know who their congressional representative is. This is a major problem. How can one expect to make a good decision if they don't even know what's going on in their country? Political scientists explain it like this, by using the political theory known as the miracle of aggregation. It states that since uneducated voters vote at random, one half will vote for one candidate and the other will vote for the other. Therefore, leaving only the responsible voters to come up with a good decision. The problem with this is a recent uprising in mass media. Politicians can now use political trickery to confuse and gain the uneducated vote. This means that the politician with the most catchiest campaign slogan, the flashiest commercial, or the most celebrity supporters will gain the nation's attention. The politician with the most awe-inspiring backstory gains the nation's popularity. This means one thing for American politics: corruption. Politicians go to big businesses to find money to pay for their campaigns. Big businesses, in return, expect to get laws passed to help them turn a profit, regardless of how it will affect the country. It's up to us to stop this. And if we don't, it's only a matter of time before our rights are slowly taken away one by one. Uneducated voting is an epidemic in our country. We were born into a democracy. We know nothing else. However, the moment we stop taking voting seriously is the moment we give up our freedom and rights. Researching candidates is time-consuming, but it is very important to do so in order to be a responsible American citizen and to protect democracy. Thank you. You may apply.